Being a founder means wearing 100 hats. But what happens when you finally take operations off your plate?
As an early stage founder, there are the things that matter. So there are building product for customers, go to market, actually working with your customers. And then there's this massive swarm of other things that you have to do that don't align to either building or selling to customers. So state compliance forms, setting up payroll, adjusting things, HR, benefits, all these different areas that in a bigger company, you would have whole teams dedicated to that and people that could tackle it. When it's just you and a co-founder, you don't have time to take any of those things on. And every minute that you're spending on them is spending not delivering on the features for your customers or selling to your customers.
Founders agree, running operations is necessary, but it's not what they signed up for.
It's a lot of like sort of small ops tasks that don't have like an owner, that I don't need like a COO for at this stage of the company, but are like very time consuming. Anything from, all the onboarding tasks associated with like a new hire, like organizing files for our data room, checking our monthly accounting and bookkeeping and making sure everything looks good, reimbursing stuff, just any kind of like small ops or logistics task that an early stage company would, normally just kind of would be on the founders, but it isn't really a great use of like my time.
The pain point is that you have all these objectives or milestones you want to hit as a startup, as a growing startup. And there are things that only I can do. Then there are things that I, without chore, have to do that need to be done, but that someone else could do. So the pain point that it solves is it's much more capital efficient way to remove those things that someone else can do so that I can do the things that only I can do.
And when they finally handed off ops, the hours saved were staggering.
Per month, it's probably like, 20 or 30 hours, included with the context switching. I mean, it's definitely significant.
At least 5 to 10 hours a week, if not more. And it's not just the time, it's the mental load. There was this long list of things before we started working with Chore we needed to do at some point, but they were never high priority enough to actually tackle.
I would say like on a weekly basis, probably at least like 5, if not like 10 hours a week. So it's a lot.
So where does that reclaimed time go? Straight into growth, fundraising, and customers.
There's really, there's three main roles for the CEO. And I think it's, fundraising, recruiting, and setting the vision. Basically all of which are selling in some sense.
Identifying our core product, meeting with investors, figuring out what features we need to build for each customer, getting hands-on with the customer and understanding their needs, going through and figuring out, okay, like which market should we go after next? What features should we build? Scoping stuff out, doing hiring directly. There are so many things where myself as a founder, like I am the face of this company. I need to be the person interfacing directly with investors and customers and potential hires. But it's not a great use of my time to fill out compliance forms or to figure out payroll. And by the way, I'm actually not very good at that. There are other people in the world that are much better at many of these tasks, and it's just really not a good use of my time or anybody else's, and it's not good for our company.
Definitely growth, just generally speaking, leading growth strategies and finding new creative ways to continue to grow our GMV. We're currently raising money, so that's again takes a ton of work and time, and only I can really do that. So that's another thing that I've been able to spend a lot more time on and just have sort of the peace of mind that the blocking and tackling of the business is being taken care of.
The math is simple. Delegating ops isn't just a time saver, it's an ROI multiplier.
If I hired like an internal chief of staff, how much more expensive would that be? So that's definitely it would be much more expensive. It's hard for me to just like put numbers on it right off the bat. I'm too much of a scientist, but it's a big ROI. It's worth it.
You could double the price and I would still pay for it.
To hire somebody to execute at Chore's level would probably cost, 3 to 4 times what we pay Chore.
For these founders, handing off operations isn't a luxury, it's survival.
ASAP, as soon as you have the funds to pay for it.
Use things like Chore sooner rather than later. Again, I think you just need to really be super ruthless and be really good at prioritizing how you spend your time as a founder, because the decisions you make, the way your time gets spent is the single most impactful thing to the company.
Chore exists to handle HR, finance, equity, and all your admin so founders can get their focus back. Declare your end to admin at hirechore.com.